Hello everyone, it's Moonkin FTW and welcome yet again to another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge. Today we're tackling the spiral coaster, which is very iconic because it's all about that spiral chain lift hill. Now, this coaster does come with a regular lift hill, but that's the most iconic thing, which is definitely what we're going to use as well. So the spiral coaster doesn't have a whole lot of options. It doesn't have any inversions, doesn't have overbank turns or anything like that. So the track options are quite limited, but I have kind of an interesting idea for this roller coaster. I'm not sure if the execution worked out quite well, but again, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I just, when I have some inspiration or some ideas, at least I try to implement them to make every ride at least a little bit special if I have some inspiration. So here you can see right off the bat what I'm planning on doing. I'm actually planning on building some of these round cylindrical towers around some of the areas of the roller coaster. So for instance, the spiral lift hill, which obviously is very fitting for it. That small helix at the end, and probably one or two more. So that is kind of the idea that I have with this roller coaster, and I'll see if I can kind of implement this properly. But it doesn't always go as intended, not always, but it looks a bit it looks a little bit wacky. I don't know if that's the correct word, but it does make it a little bit unique. And I know that in RCT2, I believe, there is a roller coaster with kind of the same setting. I think it's called Twisted Towers or something like that. Someone can correct me in the comment section, but it's absolutely inspired by that roller coaster. So here we're just going over the supports. I'm going just like the towers, which are white and red. I'm also going for a white and red color scheme for the track and supports. And I'm not sure actually what I wanted to do in terms of the supports. I wasn't sure, but I'm just figuring that I'm going to use some horizontal bars and then some beams that go vertically down to the ground. And from there on out, I'm just going to go ahead and place the supports all over the ride. Now, this actually took a decent amount of time because, again, the track of the spiral coaster is very thin. It's also see-through, so it's very finicky to try and build supports that hit the track or touch the track properly. So there's a lot of custom fabrication involved. There's little copy pasting that I can do with pre-made designs because they are mostly oriented towards the Intamin or B&M style track, and it just doesn't work with these. So yeah, in terms of support, this coaster actually owes me a lot of time. Now I've said this before in other coaster episodes, is that in order to save time, I use JCat Steelworks. But nowadays, with these later episodes, I find myself not using JCat Steelworks at all, and I definitely could do it. But it's okay. It does take a lot of time to build these supports, especially if they're all custom made. But the end result, I always love just how they look when you add flanges and footers and all that. So yeah, it's a bit of a time investment, but again, I'm not in a huge rush to complete this challenge anytime soon. Though again, we are on episode 52 right now, so we're actually getting closer and closer to finishing it. Because from the top of my head, I know that there's about 50 coasters. Excuse me, not 50, 70 coasters. So yeah, you do the math. We're well over halfway to reaching our goal. And that's why I'm sticking to the Moby Steel Jungle. It takes more time, but it just looks awesome. So here I'm just going over the ride to see if there's anything missing, and if there's any side supports I still need to add. But generally speaking, the layout is quite done. So we can start moving on to the flanges, which of course every coaster has. They're not all made out of one solid piece. They're all like these loose pieces that connect together with these flanges. So that's why I'm adding them everywhere. So I'm starting off with all the vertical ones, and then after this I'll move on to the angled ones, which I'm doing right now, just to spice it up and give it a lot of detail, because that this really changes the coaster. If you look at just those plain beams without any of the footers or any of the flanges, it's just not going to look as well. So here you can see me adding the footers, and that will be it for the supports. I'm going to plop down my standard station design because I like it. Add a little bit of catwalk here for the brake section. Again, there's no catwalk that is compatible with that spiral chain lift thing, so that's not going to happen. I'm going to add a mechanic, open up the park a little bit to add some guests here and there, using once again BC's path covers for some more smooth pathing, if you will. Going to add some railings, of course, and that will be mostly it. So I already pre-saved this design, and again, I'm planning on releasing this on RC Go Park Crafters pretty soon. But for now, I'm just saving the map, and that's it. So yeah, after some foliage, there you go. This is the end product. It looks looks a little bit wacky and out there and a little distinct, with those bright colors. It looks a little bit like, I don't know, Candy Cane the Ride, if you will. Maybe that's actually a good title for this ride. But I think it works quite well. I think it's very striking to look at. It's interesting, and I think those towers do work quite well. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and ride this and see what it's like to ride this spiral coaster. So here we go on Lift Hill, and it's good to see that our head is not hitting these towers, because I was a little worried that it would. It's gonna be like there's gonna be some close distance, but it's not gonna hit it, hopefully. And this spiral lift hill does take a lot of time because the angle is very very low, so to say. So we're just gonna have to make, I believe, one more final 360-degree turn. Yep, that's the last level, so to say. All right, and here we go. Yes, here comes the first drop. Yeah, and oh, we almost hit our head there. All right, here we go. There's a little bit of airtime there. Turn to the right, turn to the left. A little bit of airtime here, steep down to the right and into our big helix, which is in the middle. We have that tower again. And turn to the right, and then we have our small helix. So that's pretty close, but that's okay. It's a nice little action there. Another turn. And then we have this kind of cool section where we have this small airtime hill that goes over the path where the guests walk. I always like to do that. And then into the brake section. And there you go, that is the spiral coaster. So pretty simple design, but again, you can't do much with the spiral coaster. I do like that I was able to implement some of these towers. They add a little bit of, a little bit of flavor to this roller coaster. You get a nice, like a little free look view here. Yeah, that's nice. There you go. And yeah, that's it for episode 52 for the spiral coaster. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this ride. And yeah, I'll see you guys in episode 53. But until then, have yourself a wonderful day.